I know you've heard this statement 101 times that living in the UAE is not for the faint-hearted. Is that true or false? However, from my own experience, I would say living in the world is not for the faint-hearted because the level of inflation currently is not smiling at anyone. As an African lady who has been living in the UAE for over a decade now, I would say that statement is true to an extent and false to an extent. On today's video, I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on how to spend and save and invest in yourself as a meager income earner in the UAE. I am Naomi Tato, live and direct from the City of Light, the City of Blings, Dubai, United Arab Emirates. I make videos about lifestyle, small talks that centers majorly on Dubai experiences and also travels. So if that's what you like watching, click on the red subscribe button to join my beautiful community and stay tuned, and we're going to be right back after the intro. So disclaimer, please concentrate on the message and not on my hair, okay? This video is going to be centered around people who are low income earners in the UAE, especially my African brothers and sisters, especially those from West Africa, because sometimes they leave home with the notion that Africans can't really have good jobs in the UAE, and whoever invites them here or brings them here give them the notion that Africans are the lowest income earners in the UAE, and which is not correct. On this video, I will talk much more about low income earners, as I mentioned earlier, like waitresses, like nannies, like security guards, because that is where some of my African brothers and sisters find themselves because of the knowledge and the ideas they've had into their heads before coming to the UAE, that in the UAE, Africans don't really have good jobs, of which that is not true. Let's take, for instance, your paycheck a month as a waitress, your paycheck a month as a security guard, your paycheck a month as an office girl in the UAE is 2,500 dirhams. With 2,500 dirhams, we know for sure that you would always complain, oh, you don't have enough savings, oh, it's not going to do you, oh, you have responsibilities back at home and this money is so meager to take care of you, talk less of taking care of the responsibilities you have back at home. So I'm going to give you breakdowns on how you can save the little as well as on how you can spend that money so you have that saving that you really crave for. Saving does not necessarily mean that you need to save half of your income, even though some people in the UAE save way more than half of their income, okay? But if you are that person that is still struggling with a salary of 2,515, don't go all along trying to deprive yourself because you really want to save more. Okay, so let's get to the breakdown. On a very good day or moderately, you have to save 20% of your salary or 20% of your income. 20% of 2,500 dirhams, if I do my math correctly, 20% of 2,500 dirhams is 500 dirhams. So when you take that salary, if you're an office girl, for example, you take that salary as 2,500 dirhams. In that salary, the employer expects you have to pay your bills, your accommodation, transportation in that 2,500 dirhams. It's possible. You can still do that and still save some small money and still invest in yourself with the small over time. So one thing I'm going to advise is when you take that salary, first and foremost, remove your savings. Your savings should be the first thing you remove from your salary. So what you have to do is remove that 500 dirhams. Probably, maybe you have a small bank account, you keep it in the bank account with you here in the UAE, because see, sometimes I don't really advise people to save back at home. or to save through their family members back at home, because that could be very detrimental to you. So whatever means you are taking to save, remove your savings first before getting into the actual spending, if you really want to save, because sometimes if you don't do that, it will be very difficult when you start using the money to figure out how to use the money. One thing I'll advise you to do is remove that 500 dirhams first, and it's remaining 2,000 dirhams. So we are now working on 2,000 dirhams. So let's get to what actually eats of your salary in the UAE, which is the accommodation, especially for those living in Dubai, if you know what I'm talking about. So for accommodation, because you are still a meager income earner, try as much as possible to live in the spaces. There are different types of spaces in Dubai, or what they call shared apartments in Dubai. So I would always advise a low income earner to start in bed spaces. Don't go with a salary of 2,500 and try as much as possible to take a partition or to take a single room. Even if that single room is just 1,000 dirhams, please don't go for it. Go for the bed spaces, and you would spend 600 dirhams. Be it male or female, you're going to spend at least 600 dirhams to get a bed space for yourself. Be it the upper bunker or the lower bunker, you're going to have an accommodation for that price. And trust me, you're going to be a little bit comfortable, not worrying about paying dewa or not paying dewa. So that's what takes the bulk of your money, the accommodation, which is apparently 600 dirhams. Okay, so another thing is your transportation, because most of the times people who earn those salaries, they don't even give them conveyance fee or give them transportation. The employer needs you to be in the office at the designated time office starts. Okay, so you need to be very tricky when it comes to your transportation. So on the next part is the transportation, and there are different modes of transportation in the UAE. We have the car lifts, of which 99.9% of the time I don't advise anyone to go for car lifts, especially those who have jobs that are within the RTA timing. If you have a job, you work from 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. Why don't you take the RTA metro? Why would you want to take a car lift? Because normally I will always advise people to take a car lift only if their job has ghost shift timing, especially those working in hospitalities, especially those working in malls, especially those working in airport, because sometimes they have ghost shift. By ghost shift, I mean they could work till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., of which at the time when they are closing, the RTA buses have closed for the day, and trust me, they may not, or they can't really get buses to go home. So car lift is very, very necessary. But if you are that person that has normal office timings or work within the RTA timing, as I've said before, then use the RTA monthly pass. I know for sure that some people have been living in the UAE and they don't know there is something called the monthly pass, the RTA monthly pass. Trust me, my brothers and sisters from Africa, that will help you save a lot, because Dubai RTA has divided Dubai into zones, right? So for instance, if you live in Abu Hil and you work in Ariga, the unlimited monthly pass is going to be approximately 150 dirhams, and you are going to use that card to Abu Hil, right to Arkisis, you go right to Dera for 150 unlimited for 1 month. I don't know if the prices have changed a little, but that's the amount I paid some time ago. Okay, let's take for instance, you live in Abu Hil and work in JLT, and better still, you work in TCOM. You are going to pay 350 dirhams for unlimited metro and bus usage for all zones, even Nada Sharjah, Al Nada Sharjah, for 1 month. That's going to help you because for example, you use those car lists, you pay approximately 350, 400 dirhams. That's just to be used during your work days. If you are not working and you need to go to maybe Dera, some other place to buy something, for example, you need to start fueling your NOR card again, of which that's extra income and you've already paid a car lift up to 400 dirhams, up to 350 dirhams, why don't you take the 350 dirhams and pay an RTA monthly pass for all zones in Dubai, and you're going to have unlimited access? Why don't you? So I'll always advise people, go for the monthly pass. If this is your first time hearing about the RTA monthly pass and you're wondering how to get the RTA monthly pass, just go into one of those metro stations, go to the customer service associate or representatives as they call them, and tell them you want to activate your normal null card, as they call it, to monthly pass. They're going to ask you where you live and where you work. So they're going to calculate it in their zones and tell you the amount. Trust me, you will pay that amount for 1 month to have unlimited access. You will not have to worry about fueling your bus every time you want to travel, and that is going to save you a lot. Let me give the example of staying in Abu Hill and working in Business Bay, because much more people who are doing some office work, normally they work in Business Bay. So from Abu Hill to Business Bay, I'm so sure you're going to cover like three or 4 zones, and you're going to pay something like 220 dirhams to 250 dirhams. Let me just say 250 dirhams you're going to pay for unlimited bus pass for 1 month. So let's get the transportation to 250 dirhams. However, this is just an example, because if you are working in JLT, it's going to cost you 350 dirhams to get there. For understanding purposes, let's make it 250 dirhams to leave Abu Hill to Business Bay. So we got accommodation already, we got transportation already, and let's get to feeding, because this is where some people spend a lot of money without even knowing. Trust me, even though some people can be very, very crafty giving orders, but some people cannot be crafty to themselves, even though some people are still crafty to themselves, because trust me, they really want to save a lot, okay? But trust me, it's always good to feed the body that works the money. I'll always advise the calculation like this. Since there are 4 weeks in 1 month, I'll always tell you to use 100 dirhams a week. So 4 times 100 is going to give 400 dirhams a month for you to use as feeding. So for feeding, let's write 400 dirhams. Okay, so depending on who you are, right? I know some people will say, 400 dirham is too much. It could be too much, and maybe you're someone that would prefer having food in stock and having small money at hand. However, let's have it in mind that you're staying in a bed space, so you cannot go buying water, maybe 10 pallets of water or 10 packs of water to keep in a bed space. You cannot do that. Or you cannot go to the fish market and buy 5 kilos of meat or 3 kilograms of fish and keep, because in those bed spaces you have just one refrigerator for everybody's use. So you cannot come and deprive other people because you really want to keep food stuff. And sometimes you need to be on high alert, because sometimes maybe the landlord has not paid the DEWA bills, and you buy all of those things, you keep it there, and the lights could go off any second and you will be at a really very big deficit. So you need to play safe. So what I always advise, buy the non-perishable things. For example, like cooking oil, your seasoning cubes, your baking flour. If you're someone that likes pancakes and so on, buy the non-perishable things. Maybe egg, you just keep, even though egg is not non-perishable. You buy your rice and the other things that you know is going to make you a little bit comfortable, of which you know you can keep it in your small bag under your bed. That's how you have to live, okay? And then for water, you can buy 2 to 3 pallets of water and keep under your bed, and it's going to suffice you maybe for a week. So for those who really want to buy their food stuff with 150 to 250 dirhams, you can actually buy food stuff and keep. That is going to suffice you for 1 month. The balance of 150 dirham, you can hold it to buy small things like maybe meat or fish or sausage or whatever you want to buy to spice up your food. So 400 dirhams for feeding is really very good for someone with a meager income. So let's get to basic necessities, okay? So this one will really differ from male to female, okay? Because women have much more basic necessities than men. By basic necessities, I mean the roll-ons, the body sprays, the perfume, the sanitary pads, the pant liners, and if you really want to have a change of undies, the toothbrushes, the toothpaste. So for all of these things, the basic necessity, you can allocate 150 dirhams. I know that the 150 dirhams may differ from person to person. Let me explain why. I'm going to get on some nerves. If you are a lady within this salary bracket that I'm calling 2,500 dirhams, there's no need for you to want your body shade to be 5 times lighter than its normal shade, because that is what eats some girls' money. And the girls will be saying, oh, I cannot save. Oh yes, you cannot save, but you're asking that sister to mix oil for you for 500. You're asking that sister to give you njangsa for 500. That's money you can do something better, of which they are very, very ordinary, nice body lotions that will suit and give you very nice complexions on a very, very cheap price. Because sometimes you spend a lot of cash on those body whitening products and you end up spoiling your skin. Honestly, I know I'm touching on some nerves, but if you really want to make life in the UAE, just stop that, okay? Don't spend money on things like that, because they are very nice and cheap body lotion that will do you good, like Silka. If you have the original Silka body lotion, you can buy it for maybe 25 dirhams, 26, let me just say 25 dirhams. You get it for 25 dirhams and it's going to work magic for you. Your body spray, 10 dirhams. I'm one of those people that don't really advise to use bathing soaps, but it finishes faster, because when you're using a bathing soap, the temptation is you have to use it to wash your pants, okay? And it's not going to last long. There are very nice bath gels like this one. In day to day, you'll find it for 12 dirhams. In Sharjah, the other day I went to Sharjah, I saw this very one for 850. And trust me, you need a cleaner skin. It will do a marvelous job for you. And you really want to shine. You really want your body to look nice. It's not about the whitening products you use. It's about what you use as a base, of which I'll always advise, get a very nice body scrub. There are so many nice body scrubs for 10 dirhams. I bought one for 10 dirhams and it's working magic for me. So trust me, I will tell you for facts. You don't have to spend 500 dirhams to tell that sister to mix some body lotion for you. Just try as much as possible to use the basics that will not cost you anything, and trust me, your body will look so nice and fresh. When you use your money wisely and the money starts coming, just the sound of money and just the smell of money, trust me, you will look finer and fresher. So don't use the small money you have right now to do all of that, okay? Because there's a time for it. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to put 150 dirhams there. So let's get to calculating how much all of this costs. Because for basic necessities, for a man, is different, okay? And it's going to be way cheaper, because money that women may use for sanitary pads, the guy would use to shave his hair, of which sometimes it's just going to be 20 dirhams. If you're a guy who is hairy, you can repeat the shave maybe after each 10 days or 2 weeks. And for guys who are not really hairy, they can really have their clean shaves with them for the next 1 month and they'll still look okay. So let's get to calculating how much it's going to cost you to live for a month in Dubai. So we've calculated the accommodation, the transportation, the feeding, and the basic necessities, and it boils down to you spending 1,400 dirhams. So your salary was 2,500 dirhams. You saved 20%, which was 500 dirhams. So the balance was 2,000 dirhams, and now your expenditure for a month is 1,400 dirhams. So 2,000 dirhams minus 1,400 dirhams, the balance of it all is 600 dirhams. Okay, so let's get to the nitty-gritty of what are you going to do with that 600 dirhams. I would always say, if you don't have direct responsibility, like a child or a mom or a father who is incapacitated, don't be so much in a hurry to send them funds, because trust me, those people back at home enjoy way more than you. I will tell you that for real. Some of them have savings way more than you, so don't kill yourself for them. You can split the 600 that is remaining send 300 dirhams back at home. If you really have a parent that is incapacitated or you have a child, you keep the 300. You look for something you can do to invest in. I would not really advise that you buy things and send to your family members to sell. No, trust me, 99% of the time, those businesses you buy here for them to sell, it doesn't really turn out well. You're going to be and work on a very huge deficit. I know of people who have done that before, and till date, they are still regretting their actions. 300 dirhams balance. After you've sent 300 dirhams, keep it to invest in yourself later on. Okay, so if you're that person that does not really have direct responsibility, or you don't really have parents that are incapacitated, for example, if you have a mother and you don't have a child, what you have to do is place her on a salary of 100 dirhams a month, and that's going to help her. That's going to bring a smile on her face, and she's going to be very, very extremely happy with you. Trust me. You send 100 dirhams and you keep 500 dirhams. That's apart from the saving we removed, because your saving was the first thing we removed out of the 2,500 you earn. You keep that 500 dirhams and you repeat this process for the next 4 months, 5 months, and that 500 is going to become 2,500. What you have to do with that 2,500 is find a course that is marketable. Find a skill that is marketable. Because with the invention of AI, many jobs are going to disappear. So that money you've kept, that 2,500 you've kept over 3 months, 4 months, what you have to do, look for a marketable skill. Look for a career path that will not be destroyed by AI, and start doing the course. Invest in yourself, because investing in yourself is the best investment you will ever make as an immigrant with the money you've sweat for in another man's land. I will tell you that for the fact. So my advice is put yourself first. Do things to make you stand out. Do things that will benefit you first, because in the long run, it's going to benefit the other people. Shut your ears to what family is saying, because to be honest with you, takers will always complain and they'll never get tired of taking. You who is here hustling, you who is having your head burnt in the sun, you understand what you're going through. Take care of you, because in the nearest future, if you don't have, no one is going to be there to save you. Take for instance, let me ask you a question. You are in Dubai, the flood happened. How many of the family members that you send money to daily, how many of them called you or dropped a message to ask how you were faring? Called you or dropped a message to ask if you are being affected by the flood? I will tell you for a fact that some people do not even have anyone that called them to ask. That's to tell you some of them don't care. All they care about is the money relation. Put yourself first, because if you don't send, they are back at home, they will figure themselves out. So on the next one, cutting your coat according to the material you have. Because trust me, you are the one having that 2,500 dirham salary, which you think you cannot save with. But if you make your maths well, you can save. Don't look at someone that is earning 9K. Don't look at someone that is earning 7K. No, your time is going to come. That's their time. Let them enjoy it. Your time is going to come. Like someone will come here, she's been in the UAE for just 2 years and sees me who is here for 10 years, who have burned the midnight candle, and the person is looking forward to be like me within 1 year. It's not possible. It could be possible. Maybe the jar of luck you carry is 100 on 100. Sometimes in life, you just have to go through a certain route to make it. Maybe you have a friend that earns 2,500 dirhams as well. She stays in a partition, and you're thinking you can also follow her footsteps by staying in a partition, not knowing a particular person has someone that is paying her partition, someone that is paying her transportation, someone that is paying for her feeding. Don't be looking left or right. Look forward. You have your own life to fight for. Don't compare, because when you start comparing, trust me, you would end up being depressed. Trust me, you will end up throwing insults to the UAE. This country has not done anything, okay, to you. It's just you and your mindset. Because when you start looking where you're not supposed to look into, that is what will start making you so depressed. You think the UAE is the worst place to be in, because you are trying to look where you are not supposed to look. So, okay, number 3 tip is don't borrow. Stop borrowing. Stop borrowing. Don't borrow your money to anybody. and you too don't borrow. Because I've been in the UAE for so long that I've seen people who immediately they have the bank alert of salary. What they do is go with the salary card, they withdraw all the money and they send it back at home. When they send the money back at home, they go to friend A, they borrow for house rent. They go to friend B, they borrow for transportation. They go to friend C, they borrow for feeding. They use like 6 months to pay the money they have borrowed from another person they have borrowed from. Like there are some people who live like that in the UAE, and it's not funny at all. That's why you see some people are earning well and they'll go to people who are not earning like them to borrow money. And you'll be asking yourself, like, how come this person who earns more than me is always here to borrow? That's because the person is so greedy and so stingy in the way that they don't want to touch their salary. So don't borrow to such people. If you know you are earning more than someone and the person always comes, give me 500 there, give me 300 there, give me 1,000 there, and you remove your hard-earned money from the 2,500 you are earning and give the friend who you know for sure that earns more than you, that's where problem starts, because that friend is going to corrupt you in a way that you will never be able to save your own money, because such people will always will borrow so much from you and give you back as peanuts. So you will not be able to do something substantial. Just flee away from such people. People who borrow in the morning, borrow in the afternoon, borrow in the night. They are always readily available to ask money of some different people, of which they have their own money, but they don't really want to touch it. Run away from such people. They are not of good, because they don't want you to progress. They know for sure that if they take funds from you and they pay in bits and pieces, you'll not be able to make value out of the money. Okay, so run away from them. On the final tip, I know I'm going to step on people's toes right now, but let's gather here. Because trust me, if you are that one person that had a vision before leaving your country, or you are that one person that had outlined your goals before leaving your country, please, if you're a lady, hold your goals mightier than any prick. Okay? Hold your goals mightier than any man. And for my brothers, having 4 women does not make you a man. You are earning 2.5 and you are having 5 girls which you service will make you a broke person. No matter how hard you try, you will always be broke. Put your priorities under check. Trust me, if you do, it's going to help you. Don't be that girl that will come here and instead of running towards your goal, you're running towards a man. It's okay to have a boyfriend, but don't be so involved that you forget your goals, because life is per head. The day something happens, the day you really need that guy, sometimes he will not be there to stand in for you and you're going to go down the hole alone. The same goes to my brothers. You have 5 girls you service. Those 5 girls, maybe you don't even give all of them money, but if you give 2 or 3 of them money, maybe money for bed space, money for this, money for that, you will not have the saving capacity. You will not have the investment capacity, no matter how you try. The energy you put in boyfriend, girlfriend matter, the energy you put so much in different things, if you put that much energy in your goals, trust me, you will make it happen for you big time. As a guy, focus on one person and see how your life skyrocket. Trust me, because all of this waka waka today, Jennifer, tomorrow, Brenda, and tomorrow, you are spending money. If you don't know, you're spending money, spending your time, spending your energy. That energy that you use when you want to invest in yourself, if maybe you have a course you are taking that needs all your time and attention, you will not have it if you are with Brenda, if you are with Jennifer every day. You will not have it. Let's be honest. To my sisters, the worst thing that can happen to you is having a child that you are not prepared for. We know children are blessings, but when you have a child that you are not prepared for, even if the guy wants to be with you to make it happen, financial stability is needed before you bring another mouth to add to yours. Be very, very, very wise when doing things, and trust me, things will open for you in a very beautiful way. things will open for you in a very nice way. You'll be able to save, you'll be able to invest in yourself, and you'll see yourself going from one level to the other rather than gallivanting around. Trust me, if you are someone that really wants to save all the money, the 500 plus the 600, that is 1,100 you are saving out of 2,500 dirhams, and you go online and learn for free. It's still going to help you. It's still going to help you pick up something better. So let's be guarded, my brothers and sisters in the UAE. Let's just be guarded. Yes, so we come to the end of this episode. Hope you really did enjoy it. Hope you picked up some nuggets to make things work for you in the UAE. I hope the breakdown simmered into your reason, and thank you guys for watching. I'll be bringing you much more educative talks on how to maneuver in the UAE and make things work for you in a very nice way. Thank you. Stay blessed. God bless you. And let's get into the comment section. I want the comment section to be very, very interesting. So stay blessed, okay? And thumbs up. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.